for Baylor, including Austin. He had Heslop with 9 points in that first half. And as we begin the second half, we see a zone defense for Baylor.
I think Baylor's going to try, and their thought here is to keep the ball on the perimeter as much as possible. It looked like a 1-3-1 setup that they were playing. Point man, 2 wing men. They move out, move back.
And a 3 from the right corner for Shane Southwell. Make that a 2-point shot. 2-pointer for Southwell.
Well, there's that assist we're talking about, or you were talking about so well at the half, because the ball was on top. A little fake made to the left side. Quick pass to the right corner. Man open shot. Very good offense against the zone.
Here's Jackson, who has 3 fouls. Again, the foul issues for K-State with the 2 big men. Enriquez, as well as Gibson, with 2 apiece. Missed by Jackson, put back not there, and then an Enriquez rebound as he was able to keep his balance before dishing to Southwell. Magruder loves that move in the lane and scores from 12 feet.
Again, there was no help from Baylor when the ball was put on the floor. On that second bounce, there had to be a second guy that he had to beat, and that second guy was nowhere to be found, and that's why he had such an easy shot.
Walton got too far underneath the basket, and it's stolen and going the other way. Magruder jams it and is fouled from behind.
This is a huge, huge start for the second half here for K-State.
Austin fouls him from behind. Second foul on Austin.
Careless ball handling at the other end is what led to this bucket.
Magruder 1 of 2 from the line in the first half, and he has a dozen points and has come out firing here in the second half. And K-State is up by 6. This is their largest lead, and it's a 7-0 run.
A big guy goes out like that with the ball. Get off of him. Don't pay any attention to him out there. He's not going to shoot it. Jefferson in this case. Now, when you leave and go out with him, that's what he does. He makes a cut and beats you to the basket. There's no need to go out there with him.
Well, remember, Coach, early in the game, Jefferson had a couple of stuffs, and then that's really all we heard from him in the first half. And now he has a stuff here early in the second half.
Well, that was a really, really bad defensive possession. Just those big, if the big guy can hit the shot, go with him. If he can't, stay back to help out inside.
Magruder, his own miss. A third attempt for Enriquez. And out with it comes Jackson. He has Heslop here on the near side. Gives him a look. Now gave it up. But a blocking foul is called on Irving. You could see Jackson wasn't sure if he was going to shoot or dish that off.
Should have made a little pass. You had a 2-on-1 situation here, Mark, from midcourt on in. Spread it out a little bit. They were too narrow. Get just a little bit wider. Make a pass. Maybe the second time, fake pass. But don't give that guy a thought. Very good cut right there.
And on the inbounds, bounced in by Heslop. It's Jackson with the basket.
You just can't let that pass happen. The defender on the man out of bounds has got to have his back to the bucket and not allow a cross-court pass. They've got to throw it out on the same side. You can't give him that much room to pass the ball.
Walton all over Rodriguez, and Angel travels, and Bruce Weber is irate, looking for an official to bark at, and he's going to go towards the baseline, and Rick Hartzell. Weber arguing that Rodriguez was pushed, causing the travel. That's 7 Kansas State turnovers, and now Rodriguez and Jackson tangle up, and it's back to K-State out of bounds off Baylor.
Really good move by Rodriguez. As soon as that dribble was started, Rodriguez was right where he should have been. He didn't reach. He moved his feet, consequently gained a possession.
K-State built a 6-point lead here early in the second half. That's been whittled down to 2 quickly.
Baylor got out of the zone pretty quick.
The lob to Enriquez from Magruder.
Now, Enriquez had great timing there. He was up close to the free throw line when the drive started, And as the driver neared the basket, he slid down, got the high pass. It was really good team effort there, the passer and the scorer.
Walton, ball fake. Here's Austin, who will shoot threes. He's attempted 78 on the season, though none tonight. That's a 2. Big Rainbow is short. Southwell. Magruder spots up from the left corner, around and out.
Kansas State's failed to take advantage of a couple of good offensive opportunities they've had here. Austin should have made a move to the bucket right there. He was one-on-one. There wasn't any defensive help.
Austin comes up to set the screen. Shot clock at 5. Walton, tough shot. Austin had a hand on it. It's loose, and out comes Angel Rodriguez. Jackson lets him go by, and it's laid in by Angel. You have Pierre Jackson playing with 3 fouls.
Good defensive play on that last Baylor possession by Kansas State. They didn't let anything get close to the bucket. When it did, they had help defense there. Made a quick conversion with it. Good job there, both on the ball and on the postman.
Just about 5 minutes deep into this second half, and it's K-State up 44-38. Lead is 6 for Kansas State. Almost 5 minutes on here in the second half from Waco, Texas. And if you join us on this Saturday evening, Mark Neely along with Coach Bob Knight from the Ferrell Center. Baylor, a team on the bubble right now, the tournament, would love a win on their home floor over a ranked team. K-State right now 13 in the nation. K-State trying to keep up with Kansas atop the Big 12 standings. They need a win to do that.
Rodriguez set up well defensively that time to take away that pass on the lane.
And Rodriguez nearly creating a steal, but it bounced right to Jackson, who hits a 3. But Austin is shaken up.
Huge bucket right there for Baylor.
Austin got the goggles knocked off and hit the floor, but now he's up.
Austin did a great job just getting his hand on the ball and flipping it toward a teammate. What an effort.
He took the goggles off himself, but still took a pretty good lick there.
He's probably tickled to take a pretty good lick that resulted in a bucket, I would imagine. At least I'd have told him so.
He's frustrated as he heads behind the curtain. You know, the first meeting between these teams 2 weeks ago, K-State won it 81-61, and they had a 22-6 edge in points off turnovers. Tonight, it's 12-0 K-State points off turnovers, and we'll see if Baylor can score off the K-State turnover for the first time tonight right here.
It looked like when I think that Kansas State had a 5 or 6 point deficit here early into this second half, but Baylor's hung on pretty well. I mean, they've kept themselves right in the ball game when there was a chance they were going to get out of it.
It was Amari Lawrence who takes it the other way, but then has his shot blocked by Jefferson.
Jefferson did a great job just hustling down the floor to be in position to do that, but the shot never should have been taken. You have to know there's a foul right there on K-State.
Lawrence picks up the foul, but here's the play. Lawrence going to the bucket, and look at Jefferson. He's a foot over the rim there.
That's got to be a drop-off pass or a back-off. Just get out of there. There's no way you're going to go up over him and score. That was a really big lost opportunity for Kansas State.
Nino Williams in for K-State. Jackson off the inbounds. Has to go deep to Walton this time. An inbounds play has been successful for Baylor several times tonight underneath the basket.
They've shut it off this half. They're not as open or as susceptible to it as they were in the first half.
Heslop with the drive. No basket. Foul, K-State, Nino Williams. Well, it's a big Monday doubleheader on ESPN. At 7, Sean Kilpatrick and the Bearcats take on Russ Smith and the Louisville Cardinals. And at 9, a classic Big 12 contest as the Baylor Bears take on Mike Kabongo and the Longhorns. Big Mondays presented by Bud Light. Cincinnati, Louisville at 7. Baylor, Texas at 9 on ESPN. And you also can watch ESPN app. Magruder's the one that picked up that foul. That is his second. Heslop drains the first free throw.
These free throws are going to virtually eliminate that. I think it was a 6-point deficit that K-State created at the start of this half,
which had been the Wildcats' largest lead of the game. That's cut down to 2. Rodriguez with a tough shot. He tried to kiss in. Neither Gibson nor Williams could get the putback, but now Heslop in transition spots up and rounded out with a 3, but a foul underneath the basket. They may have gotten Williams on Jefferson underneath.
Pushing foul inside.
First on Williams. Yeah, you see Williams there pushing Jefferson in the back.
Again, you play defense with your feet. Get your hands out of it. Be amazing, Mark, if you went through a game and counted how many fouls were a result of hand play.
Jefferson off the inbounds, a catch and shoot, and it rattles out. K-State with the ball in a 2-point lead. Just over 13 minutes to go here in Waco. Lawrence gives it up. Jumper, Southwell got it.
Southwell's come in and done an awful lot of good scoring for Kansas State over the course of the year, but I think that's almost the first thing we've heard from him in this game.
He had a big game against Baylor 2 weeks ago. With a career-high 19 points of that one. Jackson picks it up off the court, and then his pass bounces off Lawrence. Lawrence gets it from Enriquez, and then Magruder can't finish. Is coming in late. Was gathers defensively.
Good shot fake.
And Franklin well off there with the shot from 17 feet.
K-State has been in just a little bit too much of a hurry here in the second half. They haven't let things develop. They've tried to force things offensively and then consequently haven't gotten anything done.
Southwell's miss. Enriquez fouled after the rebound. We're under 12 minutes to play in Waco. K-State has the 4-point edge. 4-point lead for Kansas State. We're under 12 minutes to play in the second half from the Ferrell Center in Waco, Texas. Let's go inside the play. Coach Corey Jefferson a few minutes ago was able to free himself. How was he able to free himself?
We're going to take a look at it right here. He comes out, which is the first mistake. Make him shoot it from out there if the big kid wants to come out. They're real tight to him. Now look how Kansas State slides up on him, and there's nobody between him and the basket, and that's why they get an easy bucket. Never go out with that big guy on the ball screen. Stay off of him. You can go over top of it or go underneath it, but stay off that big guy, because if you don't, then they're all taught to slip to the bucket if there's a switch made.
All 4 of Jefferson's field goals tonight have been dunks. There's 9.7 rebounds, and there you see Austin, who's back, and he has the bandage on his chin. So apparently when he hit the court, banged up the chin. He looks to be in good spirits. Here's 2 free throws coming for Enriquez. He only played a handful of minutes in the first half due to 2 fouls. Also, K-State fans, I'm sure, are wondering about Will Spradling, who only played 5 minutes to begin the game, then came out. Remember, he had a broken nose. Well, the nose is not an issue, but he has a chest injury that occurred in the Texas game. He's re-aggravated the chest injury. So Spradling has not played since the first 5 minutes, has not come back in, and with the warm-up still on, looks like he may not come back in this one.
That second free throw was a necessity for that margin to move and at least remain there for Kansas State. Now, make Baylor play from behind. make them hurry a little bit, make them get a little bit anxious. If you can keep that 5 or 6 point lead, you're going to do that.
Walton can't get the shot to drop. It is fouled and will shoot 2.
There's a case of the people off the ball. Defender on the ball is always at a disadvantage. The guy with the ball can fake one way, go the other. If you don't go with the fake, you can go that way. So there has to always be help when the ball is being dribbled on the floor. The object of the other 4 is to make sure that somebody is helping, or we're all helping, to prevent the ball from getting to the bucket. Make it be passed out. The first part of it is help. The second part is recovery.
So Gibson back in for K-State, with Enriquez now saddled with 3 fouls. Angel Rodriguez is also checked in, replacing Amari Lawrence for the Wildcats.
2 big points for the Baylor Bears right there. They were down 5, and then they could have been down 7. And that's 2 big free throws. You don't notice that so much with almost 12 minutes to play, and you think, well, 2 free throws. Those 2 free throws were huge in this game.
Tough shot for Gibson. And a 1 and done for K-State.
He dropped the ball. He shot it before he had it in his hands, and then had to try and recover with a little lefty hook.
Jackson long with a 3, and a 1 and done there for Baylor.
Boy, that's not the kind of shot I'd want, with a 3-point deficit and a chance to really close it almost to an even game.
That was punched out from behind by Gary Franklin. Now he has a 3-on-1, gives it up, and it's laid in by Taurean Prince.
That pass that Franklin just made, if Baylor wins this game, that pass is going to be one of the big plays in the game. This is the second time in the half they've overcome a 6-point deficit Baylor has.
That bucket for Prince, the first points off the bench tonight for Baylor. Gibson got it. Big bucket.
Two defenders are on the opposite side of the basket, and it was just a layoff, and it almost like the defense was completely asleep on that bucket.
First bucket of the night for Gibson, helps quiet the crowd. Gathers, fights, and has the rebound between 2 Wildcats, and it throws it away. Magruder the other way is fouled. Walton there with a pretty hard push on Magruder. No flagrant foul call. There's the punch out. And here's the pass we're talking about, Coach.
Great assist. He kept it as though he were going to take it all the way to the bucket. He doesn't even look. Brings the defensive man to him. Wide open layup. Great pass right there. So many times kids get a little bit selfish and think that they can take the ball to the bucket in a 2-on-1 situation, but draw that defensive man to you, and you got something going good on the other side. Long. Kind of a hurried free throw there that really didn't have much of a chance from the beginning. It was long and right.
So Walton's out with 3.
Well, you just don't want, Mark, you don't ever want to go away in a close ball game with going zip from the free throw line. You get a 1-and-1, you at least got to go away with 1 of them.
K-State does, as Magruder does hit the second to make it a 4-point lead. Jackson's been playing with 3 fouls. Picked up his 3rd in that first half.
Somebody's got to help on him or he's going to score.
Austin pushed underneath. Bello is fouled. Well, Joe Lenardi's bracketology changes several times a day, especially on a weekend, and you look at first 4 out. Baylor was one of the first 4 out earlier today. Now they're the last one in for bracketology, but the outcome of this game may move them right back off that if they're beaten.
Pretty good perimeter defense by K-State that time. Kept forcing the ball out further.
Ole Miss's loss today has helped put Baylor, according to Joe, back in. Kicked out by Rodriguez. You know what? Baylor's looking at it. They have K-State here tonight. They have KU here next Saturday. So that's 2 opportunities to win against a ranked team on your home floor. They can get at least one of those 2. Also win this week. They have TCU coming here. They'll be in pretty good shape to get in with a win. 1 win in the Big 12 tournament. Austin down low, and it's a 2-point game.
Good patience that time.
9 minutes to go in Waco, and the crowd picks up the noise level again. Irving had 3 threes early, but has been quiet since. Couldn't get that to fall, but gets the rebound after it's tapped out by Gibson. Gibson, another tough shot, but has the foul.
Gibson really did a good job staying with it. Missed the first one. Both lefties missed the first one. I'd want Austin inside. Get him in there where he can move and change direction. He's tough to play against inside. Comes outside. It allows them to drop off of him a little bit and clog up the middle.
Yeah, the 6'6" Southwell right now guarding the 7'1" Austin.
Austin's not moving a lot in there. It's almost like he's a little bit tired. That postman has got to be constantly moving. Terrible shot.
Shot clock was at 4. I don't think the shot hit the rim anyway, but K-State comes out with it.
Ball, it wasn't really set for the shot. Really didn't get the ball set in his hand well. Now we're going to have a holding violation here.
That's on Deuce Bello. We'll step aside here at the 7:44 mark in Waco. Kansas State by 4. (52-48) K-State. They're up by 4, and this game has gone about as we expected. Neither team has been able to create much separation. Largest lead for K-State has been 6. Baylor's largest lead has been 5. Off the inbound, Southwell. Rebound for Jefferson.
K-State has not been real effective with a lot of shots in close here, Mark, in the second half. They've hurried the shot a little bit, and I don't think, and particularly that time, I don't think the eyes were on the bucket. It was just a turn and put it in the general direction.
Austin gave it up to Jefferson, who took a pretty good shot from Enriquez in the midsection.
Real good alertness, good look by Austin. Knowing where he is, we're going to see an excellent pass right here. Instead of trying to fight this, he's going to make his move right there. Really good pass, and they caught K-State actually completely out of position.
I think Enriquez's left leg came up, and that's what got Jefferson in the midsection. That's 4, by the way, on Enriquez. Jefferson has 9 double-doubles this year. He's not far away from a 10th. It was Enriquez out with his 4 fouls.
You know, you mentioned Spradling and the problems that he had emanating from an injury in their game with Texas. Spradling is a big loss to this team because he does things very well. He's a very smart player. He works the offense well. Spradling and either of the other 2 guards in there, very good combination. And they miss Spradling in a game like this.
He played the first 5 minutes, missed his only field goal attempt, which was a 3. Re-aggravated the chest injury and has not played since. Magruder finds the open man. The 3, though, is missed by Irving. Rebound, Austin. We have a Baylor player, Walton, slow to get up behind the play, so the officials stop play. So we'll take a timeout with 6:52 to go and a 2-point game. To make sure if there was any kind of flagrant foul that occurred. It doesn't appear that there was. J.B. Caldwell, one of the umpires on this crew, led by Rick Hartzell. ESPN College Basketball is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Big game here in Waco. Baylor on the bubble to make the NCAA tournament. Would love a win on their home floor over a ranked team. K-State needs a win to keep pace with Kansas atop the Big 12 with 2 games left in the regular season after tonight. Austin, second opportunity, a third. Magruder.
That's the biggest mistake of the game thus far, was missing out on that bucket.
And a chance to tie the game.
I think Austin went in there looking for a pass, and he should have been really concentrating on the rim and the glass where he was going to put the ball. And all of a sudden, he sort of surprised himself with the fact that he had a shot, and it wasn't a very good shot that he took.
Seven on the shot clock. Irving with 3 to shoot. 17-footer, good. Huge shot for Irving, who hit 3 threes early but had been quiet until that big bucket.
Did a great job. He threatened to drive and then pulled back, but he didn't just pull back and shoot it. He pulled back and got on balance for the shot. That right foot, right shoulder were going forward instead of backward.
11 points ties a season high for Irving. Here's Gibson picking up a foul. K-State already has Enriquez on the bench with 4. Now Gibson picks up his 3rd.
See, the big guy outside that gets caught defensively like that can't play like he's a 6'1" quick guard. He's got to get off of him. He's going to inevitably have a foul called when he pushes up against the guy and tries to stay with him. You're that big, you're out quick right off the bat. Get away, give some room. You can always close it if he goes up to take the shot.
1-1 for Jackson.
Long.
But an offensive rebound for Austin, his 5th offensive board of the game.
It's a great rebound.
Franklin misses the 3. Gibson pulls down the board. And then Rodriguez trying to save it, but can't. It's going to be Baylor ball. Austin is complaining at one end. He got thrown to the floor near the basket. And then Rodriguez gave up his body here on the near sideline trying to save it for K-State.
Gibson should have just held it, and they needed to just come back and get the ball. You've got the ball now. Having the ball is more important at the opposite end of the floor than trying to get a quick breakaway. Let's just keep the ball. Let's have the ball so we can do something with it rather than have to make some kind of a Otto Graham type pass. Rodriguez kind of holding his left wrist after diving for that out of bounds. And here's Jackson nailing a 3. And it is a 1-point game with just over 5 minutes to play. Rodriguez sees an open lane. Missed with the left hand. Gibson, no. Austin a rebound. That's the 4th one they've missed so far, Mark, in the second half. That close. You can't let those go by without touching the net. Baylor has not led since they were up 1 at the half. Backed up by Walton. Resetting is good here, but you've got to be quick on the reset. You don't want to just have 4 or 5 seconds left. It's down to 3. Heslop had to reach down for the pass, missed the long 3, but another offensive board, the 6 for Austin. It's punched out by Southwell and stays with the Bears. Boy, Austin has done a great job this half in providing Baylor with extra chances to score. The balls that he's knocked away down at the defensive end and what he's chased down at the offensive end. Timeout. And K-State will use one with 4:15 left. Big game in the Big 12. 13th ranked Kansas State leading by 1 with 4:15 to go. You see Isaiah Austin there with the chin bandaged up. Well, since that chin has been bandaged up, this is the situation that occurred where the chin was cut. He comes back with the bandage.
Since then has been getting more contact. Involved in a lot of plays down low.
Austin has done a great job at both ends. He's been very good with the basketball. He's scored with it. He's passed it. He's controlled it. He's rebounded it. I've been very impressed with Austin and what he gives to a team.
That's his 10th double-double of the season. The one here tonight.
To get the ball on top. Don't have it on one side or the other. Just try to attack from the middle so you've got the whole court to work with.
We have Enriquez defending Heslip out. Enriquez with 4 fouls. Jefferson took advantage underneath. And the and one, Baylor leads by 1.
That was a huge mistake by the K-State defense. They left him almost alone, and there was nobody there to help whatsoever. Really excellent timing, a great pass from the outside.
A chance for a 3-point play for Jefferson when we come back to Waco. Todd thinks here at Waco. Jefferson attempting for the 3-point play. It does complete it. Gives Baylor a 2-point lead.
You know, Baylor's done a great job coming back into this game. 3 different times, Mark, they've overcome a 7-point deficit, either to tie or take the lead as they have here.
A 6-0 run for Baylor has given them their first lead of this second half. Southwell blocked by Austin. Well, let's go inside the play on the last sequence. How did Jefferson get so open on that last play?
Watch here. You'll see it here in just a second.
Magruder left Jefferson.
Bring it to the other. Okay, they bring it to the other side. Okay, we didn't get to see him bring it to the other side there.
It's going to go against Baylor. Bello, his second. See the foul situation. Baylor's already in the bonus. Rodriguez with a big 3 from the left corner for K-State.
He got away from the defense. There wasn't anybody there to pick him up, and he was very well set to take that shot.
Scott Drew will use one of his remaining timeouts. Our 10th lead change. Let's take a look inside the play again. And Coach, what this shows is that K-State, in this instance, it was Magruder leaving to guard Heslip 25 feet from the basket when already Enriquez was in that vicinity.
Well, we take a look at it here. We're going to see that there's no reason whatsoever to do that. Again, they got caught with that play. That's the second time that they've gone out with that big man. And you just can't do that. Now, if the big man is a shooting threat, it's a little bit different. But the worst you can do is be halfway. And then you should be further back than that. And they just gave away a bucket right there. And, you know, from that point to right now, Baylor has really been the dominant team.
We saw on that play, Enriquez kind of waved at Magruder to come up there, almost like they wanted to switch to get the better matchup, but it was way too late at that point.
Well, and there wasn't any such thing as a really good matchup there, particularly not for the big guy.
Out of the Baylor timeout.
Now they're up there with Austin again. Okay, now they're playing him one-on-one, so that's a little bit different.
Jackson hesitates, runs right by Enriquez, but can't get it to crawl over the rim. Lob jam, Enriquez.
That was great timing, and Enriquez really held his position before he made that cut to the bucket.
K-State by 3, just over 2.5 minutes to play. Heslip feeding Jefferson. Enriquez playing with 4 fouls. Big crowd underneath, out to Heslip, who can't hit the 3, and a rebound for Enriquez off his left shoulder.
Taking their time is a good thing right here. There they draw the foul, but there's hands in the action rather than the feet.
Number 4 on Walton, who's saying, hey, Rodriguez jumped into me that time, but nonetheless, it's against Baylor. Here's the lob to Enriquez. The last bucket.
Jefferson just didn't do anything to drop back and cover the cut to the bucket that Enriquez made. Jefferson was kind of a spectator there.
Walton nearly picked up another one. Rodriguez passed, picked off. Jackson has Austin and Walton with him, and Jackson wanting to take it to the rim is fouled. Just a minute 50 to go in this tight one in Waco. K-State needing a win to keep pace with Kansas. Just 2 games left in the regular season after this one is finished. K-State hasn't won a conference title since 1977. Baylor right now on the bubble. According to Joel Lenardi in the last few minutes, they're the last team in the tournament, but obviously need some wins, and a win here tonight over a ranked team would be a big one.
Well, there's a lot of teams in this conference, Mark, that haven't won a title since 1977. Baylor's not alone with that one. Bad miss.
Jackson
be a little bit tighter on this one because he missed the first one. You got to loosen your hands, shake your arms a little bit.
Look at the free throws in the tight games. 58%. And in their 17 wins, 71%. Baylor had not won a game decided by 5 or fewer points until earlier this week when they beat West Virginia.
Get the ball set. Get it set. That's good.
Baylor had lost 6 games decided by 5 or fewer points before the win over West Virginia earlier in the week. 2-point game under 2 minutes to go.
Well, they want to take some time with the lead. They don't want to force anything, but if they get a good clear opening, they've got to try to take it. Right there.
Rodriguez adjusted his shot. It bounced out. Rebound off the floor. Jackson on the run. Again wanting to take it to the rim and is fouled by Magruder.
Well, that's the 5th point blank shot in this half that Kansas State has missed.
Number 4 on Rodney Magruder. Two shots coming for Jackson. We just saw that graphic about how poorly Baylor has shot in the close games of free throws. Jackson just made 1 of 2 the last trip down the floor.
First one's really important. The first one relaxes a guy that's kind of nervous. Don't look at the floor. Quit fiddling around with the ball. Get it set and shoot it. Oh boy. That takes a little pressure off of them. They're coming away with this with something. It isn't that they lost everything with that one. He should be a little bit looser on this shot.
Came in averaging 19 points per game to lead the conference. Tied at 59, 123 left. This crowd, most of them wearing neon just like their players on the floor, come to their feet. Magruder from 17, yes! What a big shot for Rodney Magruder.
Now they don't want to take a lot of time here. You're looking at that clock. You want to have a possession here, and then whatever happens, you have another possession after this. You don't want to run that clock down with a deficit and then retain that deficit if Kansas State winds up with the ball.
Well, Baylor on the bubble right now. Their bad losses, Charleston and Northwestern, have some quality wins. Beat Kentucky when Kentucky was a ranked team. And Oklahoma State. See their strength of schedule at 35. And Joe Lenardi in his latest bracketology just out, which has changed a few times today with the outcomes of other games, as Baylor is the last team in. But of course that could change if they fall right here. Look at what Baylor has left. The last 4 in, including Baylor. They have the defending champs Kentucky, one of the last first 4 out. Well, Baylor using a timeout here. Down 2. What are they thinking at this juncture, Coach?
Well, I think that Baylor's got to just keep doing what they're doing. They got to make sure they have some room. Look to Austin inside. Let's don't think that we're going to win this on threes. Let's make sure that whatever we do is also going to give us an opportunity to go to the free throw line, which a 3 isn't.
Jackson to the rim. Well, this has been deja vu all over again. The last several trips down the floor for Baylor. Jackson drives and gets fouled.
Now, big thing here, Mark. They make both free throws. If they make both free throws to tie the game up at this point, they may not get another possession because Kansas State will be able to hold the ball until the gun goes off with a tie score. And somewhere in that last 12 seconds of the possession, they're going to look to get a shot. And if they get something open before, they'll probably go for it. But the one thing that Kansas State doesn't want to do, if this game becomes a tie with the 2 free throws, they do not want to give Baylor a chance to score at the end of the next possession. They've got to hold the ball and wait for one crack at it in such a time frame that Baylor will not get another shot. Now, if Baylor doesn't make both of these free throws, they've got to foul quickly.
Enriquez fouls out with 10 points, 9 rebounds. In the first meeting between these schools 2 weeks ago, Enriquez had 10 points, 10 boards.
Well, whether Kansas State wins or loses, when their coaching staff checks this game, they're going to find an awful lot of close-in baskets missed because of pure concentration. Okay, that's huge. Now, if he misses this one, they're going to have to foul somewhere along the way. And probably the quicker the better. And if he makes it, then they're going to have to play awfully good defense where they don't foul and give K-State a chance at the free throw line.
Jackson hits them both and we're tied. Now K-State, as you alluded to, Coach, going to try to hold it for a final shot.
Well, they're going to play defense 3-on-2 up there right now.
Virtually no different shot clock, game clock. There's about a half second.
Well, they want to keep it now. They just want to hang on to it, and with about 7 seconds to play, then work to get your shot. And if you miss it, you're still in the ball game. You don't want to give Baylor a chance to score here. I think they're going to try and spread it and drive here. They're going to have to go quick.
Well, Walton tried to deny Rodriguez the ball with Southwell looking to pass to him, and a timeout is called.
Now, the problem with that timeout is that you've got to reset everything. You had movement going, you had people in position going, and now you've got to reset all that. In 8 seconds, 7.7 seconds, there are people that can run 75 yards in that time. And but that's not going to convey itself to basketball. You've got to reset yourself. And I'm going to be surprised here if Kansas State gets a really good scoring opportunity. Here, from my standpoint, I want to drive to the basket. I want the offense up high, nobody low, offense at the depth of the foul line extended. Get the ball with 5 seconds to go in the hands of our best driver, stay high and take it to the bucket. But use the drive, not the shot, because the drive gives you an opportunity to get a shot and make it, and it also draws the foul. So you've got 2 chances to score here off of a drive.
You see the reset. Baylor a bubble team right now. K-State chasing Kansas. Kansas won earlier today at home against West Virginia, so K-State needs a win to stay tied with KU with 2 games to go in the regular season after this one. Oklahoma State also a winner today. Oklahoma beat Iowa State earlier as well. Bottom 4 teams have to play on the first day at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. Top 6 teams off of that first round. And here we are in Waco, tied at 61 with 7.7 seconds left in regulation. Let's take a look at our Big 12 news and notes. Again, McLemore had 36 in the Kansas win over West Virginia, and Oklahoma, of course, had that difficult loss to Texas earlier in the week when they blew a 22-point lead. Today, Osby has 22 points in the Oklahoma win over the Cyclones. Oklahoma, by the way, was 34 of 34 from the foul line, which tied an NCAA Division I record. And Oklahoma State with a win over Texas and Stillwater. Well, what the officials are looking at is to make sure the correct time is on the clock. It was 7.7. Now they have it right at 7. And we're going to take another look to see when the timeout came, when it was given. We want to put 7.4 on the clock, is what I'm told. Again, when we're finished here, Vandy at Auburn coming your way next. Well, they're going to stay at 7.7, and Irving will take it out. And Baylor's going to use their final timeout.
Defensive possession or position is going to really be important for Baylor in this particular offensive move by Kansas State. Really going to be important.
Tied at 61. This has been a really fun game from Waco, Texas tonight. I'm glad you could spend part of your Saturday with us. Mark Neely along with Coach Bob Knight. This is really what we expected. I mean, neither team has created much separation at any point during the game.
Well, they've both played very hard, and each team has done a pretty good job going from one end to the other, whether it's going to defense or going to offense. But basically, the biggest difference right now is Kansas State's inability to get the ball in the basket around the bucket. I think we counted 6 or 7 times when they're point blank and they didn't come away with either a bucket or draw a foul.
Kansas State has not played an overtime game this year. Baylor has played 2, won 1 and lost 1. But again, Baylor's had trouble winning the close game this year until earlier in the week when they beat West Virginia.
The only way a shot should occur is if on a drive the defense closes on the driver, leaving a guy open for the shot. They really don't have a lot of time here. It's going to take them a couple of seconds to get the ball in and then go anywhere with it.
Southwell. Jumper from 17, well long, going out of bounds. The shot clock expired. There's 1 second left on the game clock. When they reset the clock just a short time ago, you notice the shot clock came back on, and there was about a half-second difference or a second difference. And there's some confusion here as to why there's any time left on the clock.
They're looking into that right now. That was not a very good attempt at a winning possession.
Well, they are going to say there's 1 second left. So Baylor can attempt, I would assume here, Coach, a long baseball pass and try to get something off.
That's all you've got. And the one thing that can result from it is a bad foul by a Kansas State kid, you know, trying to make an interception or something.
Jacob Newbert comes off the bench to play for the first time in this game. He's the one going to launch the baseball pass. It's long, And it goes all the way out of bounds. And now Kansas State should have a second left with a chance to inbounds the ball underneath the bucket at the other end. I don't think that touched anybody.
I don't think so either. I think it'll go right back, as you said. That was a good call. It'll go right back to the K-State end, and there'll probably be 0.5 of a second put on the board. Or maybe the entire second, because nobody touched the ball inbounds that I could see.
Well, if the question was, what's the worst thing that can happen on a long baseball pass for an offensive team? This is it.
Yeah, it is it.
The long pass from Newbert, and yeah, I don't think anybody touched it.
Now, what you want to do right now as the Kansas State coach is, where are you going to give me the ball? So you got to find that out. Then you set up everything there. What I would like to do is be coming hard this way, and then have somebody set a screen, and they're coming back toward where the ball is, and the screener slips to the opposite corner, hit him, and let him get an open shot.
When we are finished here, we'll join Vanderbilt at Auburn. That game is on right now on ESPN News. K-State will have Rodriguez inbounds, 1 second left. Certainly time to catch and shoot a potential game winner for the Cats. Magruder off in time, got it! And Kansas State stuns Baylor!
He did a great job with it right there. They got a guy open. They came toward the ball. There was a screen set. Let's watch this. Let's watch how we get open right here.
The officials are reviewing, but I don't think there's any question he got this off in time.
Oh, I don't think so either. 0.6 of a second. The defense did not stay with the man. Let's take another look at that if we can. Right there he is. Screen inside. No defender. It allows him to get all set. Great action. Great footwork.
Magruder open look three with a second left, wins it. The officials have just reviewed it. They say it is good, it is over, and Kansas State, with this win, stays tied with Kansas atop the Big 12. What a game. Vandy Auburn coming up next. A stunned Baylor team misses a chance to beat a ranked team here on their home floor. Once again, our final score 64-61 K-State. Vandy Auburn coming up next here on ESPN2 with Dave Lamont and Kara Lawson. For Coach Bob Knight, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. So long from Waco.